Breaks to it. The thing I miss about the modified is seemed like everything's a lot easier to work on that thing. The thing here, everything's pretty tight to get to. This front and back bolt, they're real easy to get to on this side. The right side of the car is a lot easier to get to. You don't have as much junk in the way as steering and all that, but these headers are still kind of a pain to work with. Okay, so fib. There's one bolt on this side I forgot about. These headers have been beat up a little bit. So this one here is kind of a pain to get to also. Some people ask me why I went from a modified class back down to a street stock. So my track, they call them super streets. Well, truthfully, I just wasn't having fun with modified. Seemed like nothing ever seemed to want to go right with it. Granted, I was running an older chassis. It was an old leaf spring. But the best I had done with it, I got a heat race win with it, and I think 2, maybe 3 top 10s, which were purely luck. And initially when I got the car, I was looking to do street stocks anyway, but the guy wanted to trade for my old mini stock straight across. The car didn't have an engine in it for a race ready modified. I was like, well, it'd be stupid not to do it. So we switched over to the street stock after crashed the modified. I was going to put another one together and more updated type setup, and just realized I just didn't have the time to really mess with it to start with, and then we went ahead and decided to trade those two off, and I actually had 2 chassis for a modified I was going to put together as a B-mod, and we decided to go back to a street stock instead. So I traded those 2 chassis off, and we traded for 2 more street stocks, and traded those 2 for the Camaro I got now. It's not a fancy car by any means. It's an older chassis, has stock suspension basically, and pretty much the best thing on the car is probably the engine. Had one of the local old timers that been doing it a long time, won numerous championships and races. So when he offered to build me an engine, I decided to go with it. But pretty much I'm running a lot of the same parts off my modified, since it was a leaf spring car. Pretty similar setup, really. So far this car's been a lot more fun to deal with. Just a little difficult to work on in some spots, but we'll get past that. Try to keep up on maintenance best I can. Usually gone Monday through Friday, so usually Friday nights, Saturday mornings, my main time to work on it, and Sunday I usually figure out what's wrong with it after I get back from the track. But overall, we started 4 races behind everybody last year and made it all the way up to 10th, and They're just slowly, we tore apart and slowly trying to get it back together. Got the engine and transmission back in. I was wanting to do more transmission work, but time's kind of against me at this time. So we fixed some leaks on the engine. Transmission's probably still gonna have a few on it, but ain't nothing new to me to have a couple of oil spots in the floor. So, but we're getting there. Our local track is kind of up in the air whether it's going to open or not. So we might turn into a gypsy this year and travel around a little bit and try that out. But I don't know. Overall, we're trying some new things this year. Never done a body, so we're going to do a body this year, and went from an old IROC looking body to the third gen that we're going to do a 2019 body look. Something new. I've never done one before. Will probably be different at the track. I know our local track, there ain't many people that run a new Camaro style, so I guess we'll try to keep it going and see if we can do better. We started 4 races behind, made top 10, or made it to 10th in points. Had numerous top 5 finishes. I think we were 2 or 3 5th place finishes and 1 4th. So we're trying to get things figured out with it. Well, we did get the headers bolted on, transmissions in the car. Got the linkages hooked up transmission. We really just got to put on the bolt-on stuff here, and in the midst of trying to fix the screw up I made, I found issues that could have been hurting me quite a bit last year with the coil. I had the engine apart fixing the oil pan on it. I guess I didn't get all the oil out of the engine, and it came up out of where the sending unit is for the oil gauge, and we dripped a lot of oil down in there. So I was trying to clean it up and dry it out, because I run on a pretty tight budget. Going to the parts store and buying stuff all the time is kind of a tight deal when you're pretty well self-funded. I do got a couple of sponsors that help out, but for the most part, we do it all on our own. So we got the headers on, got everything hooked up on the transmission. Got to put the drive shaft in, hook the battery up. We got to, I don't know if you can see it, but we got to put a steel plate on that door bars. I was kind of weary about the way it was set up. It had just a piece of aluminum across it, so we're going to do it upright, try to make it a little safer. But one of the bad things about having a smaller shop and not a lot of storage space is, well, the car kind of turns into a catch-all, and my workbench is kind of dirty too. Sometimes I got stuff piled over on my son's little workbench there, but yeah, we don't have a lot of fancy stuff in here, just kind of the basics. We got electricity, that's a big thing. Over here on the other side, we got the old tractor, and we got a little wood stove over there, kind of keeps us warm when it's really cold. But I don't know, you can see this not really the best conditions to work in as far as a building. Kind of cheaply put together, but it's here when I bought the place, and I seen it as a good place to work on a race car, so probably what sold the place. But I guess we'll cut it off there. We're just kind of rambling around, and I guess you'd call this a vlog. We're going to put it on the YouTube here, so I guess what everybody else is, you like what you see, want to see more, like, subscribe, comment, I don't know, all the other fun stuff. Anybody has used to them old 4-foot lights there, incandescent, I'd be more than happy to get rid of them. Check this out. Whoever wired my shop up, they put the light switch all the way on the inside, so you gotta walk all the way through the shop. And I bought these cheap little lights from Menards. They're solar battery operated, so at nighttime when I shut the lights off, I got something to see to get out.